Popular Garmin this year at the lowest price ever. So if you want a separate GPS system, which we'll explain why that's important, that's still to come before our hour's over. But now we're going to talk about your personal security or security for people that you love. We have sold just in the last couple of weeks over 11,000 pairs of our safety alarm keychain 2-pack. We have the silver, we have the gold, we have the pink, we have the lavender purple, what do we call that? Purple, then we have the black, and then we have this gorgeous blue. And Joe's here for the next two items, so welcome back, Joe.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Another thing that's extremely important to me, I've got a family of 5, and every 35 seconds in the United States, someone's kidnapped. We've all felt that situation when it's dark at night, or you're just walking out to your car, you're going from the mall to your car, and you see somebody out there. And you're thinking, I hope that person doesn't come after me. I don't know what to do if someone would attack me. You're looking around, who's around? And then you think, okay, what's gonna happen if somebody does attack me? Well, first thing that you're gonna do is probably yell. You yelling is about 90 decibels. Sounds pretty good, but it doesn't go that far, only about 100 feet. So then you think about, okay, I'll call 911. Well, it's gonna take the police about 10 minutes to show up, and then by the time they do, the siren that's on top of the car is only about 110 decibels. If you are in an emergency and you need help right now, you have a samurai by your side. When you pull this chain, it's gonna set up an alarm that's 130 decibels, louder than you screaming, louder than the siren on top of the car, as loud as a military jet taking off. And it's right there for you. It's a special trigger system. You pull on that chain. They made it nice and big and long to make sure it's easy to grip when you need to in that important situation. As you grip on that, that's where that alarm's gonna emit from. It's gonna scare anybody away, because there are two things the bad guys hate. They hate sound and they hate light. And that's the great thing about this country, is that anytime you hear an alarm go off, everybody's looking around. So if you're walking out of the mall, if you're walking with your groceries, you're walking from work, and you feel like something's going on, all you do is give it a little tug, and Suzanne, cover your ears. Because this is the loudest alarm we're legally allowed to sell in the United States.
Me, by the way.
No problem, here we go.
It's extremely loud.
130 decibels. We've had reviews from customers that said they heard it on TV, but they got it at home. It was so much louder than they expected on TV, because when it is there, when you're hearing that sound, it's not just in your immediate area. This can be heard up to 600 feet away, 2 football fields. So imagine if something's happening, or you have a son or daughter who's walking across campus, like we went to Ohio State. That campus is massive, lots of big open spaces. You pull on that.
And lots of dark spaces.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But 600 feet away, 2 football fields, someone's gonna hear you.
And 2 footballs away wouldn't hear you screaming.
No,
let's just be honest, you know. For me, I think why these have been so popular, they make great stocking stuffers, and they're perfect for everybody. It could be someone as young as a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or 7, maybe not 5, they'll pull it too often, but you know, a young child like you've got. Or it could be someone who's really, really old, maybe an elderly parent, and you're concerned about their safety. Think about those of you who, when the sun is going down so early at night and you're out walking the dog. I have a friend of mine who runs her dog at 10 p.m. at night, and she's a single girl. And I'm like, well, the dog's big, but he's not gonna save you. And it's night and it's dark out. Or in the morning, if you get up really early, maybe you're in one of those offices where you have to park in the parking lot and the office door is about 3 miles away. My brother works for a company, he used to work for a company that their parking lot was acres and acres. It was huge. And he would have to hike to the office door. Well, you don't wanna have anybody, whether it's a guy, but especially, let me be honest with you, the women in your life, having to be unprotected. And if they're out in the middle of that mall parking lot, the mall is closed down, it's icy, it's dark, and they're feeling nervous, you pull this, those people, if something's gonna go bad, somebody's probably gonna walk away because they don't want this kind of attention. Also, what I like too, if it's someone who's elderly and maybe they just happen to fall somewhere, maybe it's off a sidewalk and they're not visible to people who are going by, they would have this to be able to pull it to bring attention to them, even if they're not in danger of someone else.
And to go even further beyond that, if you have someone who's a senior who's living by themselves, and you're concerned with them, if you pull on this, because it is so loud, it's 130 decibels. So I have a home system alarm that I pay a monthly fee for. Suzanne, it's only 100 decibels. And when we got these samples, we started, me and the kids were playing around with them. We were pulling the chain. My neighbor 2 houses down came over. She's like, is everything okay? She kept hearing this alarm. And this is louder than my house alarm that I'm paying almost $30 a month for. You can hear it through houses. You can hear it through walls. So if you have that senior who's living by themselves, just pull this. And I love the design. It's small enough to fit in your hand, but is incredibly loud. It's designed on a keychain because this is as important as your car keys, as your house keys, because this could save your life just because there's an attack. There's a kidnapping in the United States every 35 seconds. So for my kids, I've got 3 kids. I have one that's a high schooler that walks to the bus stop 6:20 every morning, pitch black. She has it attached to the backpack. You never know when you're gonna need it, but attach it to something that you're always taking with you. Then she can yank on that cord, that trigger system, and that'll set it off. You can also attach it to the purse too. My wife has hers attached in the purse. My mom has hers on the inside, by the way. It's got a nice little light too. Light's important because that also scares the bad guys. Like Suzanne mentioned, my neighbor gave me this idea. She has a couple of these. She keeps it on her on her dog leash. Doesn't take it off at all because she walks the dog in the morning,
great idea.
walks the dog at night. She can illuminate the sidewalk, but then if somebody's coming, she can yank on that chain, but she also has a tiny dog. Sometimes the bigger dogs will come running towards her little dog. She'll yank on that to scare away the big dogs and the animals too.
You know what? I had a German Shepherd. I have little teeny dogs. I had a German Shepherd come right up on us, and I was scared to death. And I wouldn't go down and pick my dog up because it was a German Shepherd. I thought, well, they'll have to find. You know what I did? I ended up stamping my foot, and he went away. But this would have been 10 times more effective than that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's kind of a freak out moment, you know? But think about those people. I mean, this is just smart. You put it in everybody's stocking. It's that extra little gift, and it does give you a sense of, you feel more confident because your children and your loved ones have that bit more of a protection. I think if anybody has to go to a campus anywhere, especially a female on a big campus, they 300% should have these. Don't even think about it. Just go, yeah, you're right, I'm getting that. I'm gonna make sure they feel safe. By the way, I thought the light was great. You're like, oh, you can pick up poo with it or whatever, or see where you're walking. It's great for your handbags, girls, because if you're like me and you have those black interior handbags, you can never see anything. This actually is genuinely a very bright light that you can dig into your bag and see all your stuff you've got in there. Or if you're outside and you're trying to put a key into a lock, like in your front, like a dark front door or in a car lock, that's gonna be great because it's gonna be able to illuminate, because it's actually a really surprisingly bright light in there.
It's a bright white. We chose some of the brightest white lights, 5,000K, so it's one of the brightest lights that's out there. So you can clearly see everything that's going on.
Look at that, look how bright that is. It's really surprising how bright it is.
My mom uses it also to read menus. So she has it in her purse, she takes it out.
Of course.
Reading those menus a lot of times, it's nice to have
so dark in one of the
personal
restaurants.
And if you're wondering, okay, it's got a battery built into it. It's running, you know, the light and the alarm. If you pull the alarm every single day, it's gonna last you about a year. So if you're using it every single day, it'll last you a year.
If you're using it every single day, you're probably gonna move.
Yes, you probably should move.
Let's just start with that.
That's a great thing. But the batteries are easy to change out if you need to change them out. But it also, you know, operates with the light too. So you've got a couple different options. But the key is this: the battery's already installed in this. When you give this to somebody, it's already ready to go. And if you feel like something's going on, it's that special trigger system. They made it long, so that way you've got an easy grip on it. Suzanne, cover your ears again, because this is the loudest sound we're legally allowed to sell in the United States. Sorry about it, couldn't get the pin back in. It's 130 decibels. And I tell this to my kids. If somebody's coming up to attack you, and this is a common thing, like we tell our kids, stranger danger. We're making up songs about this because it's so common. But if you pull that trigger system, it takes that pin out. I say throw the trigger, because this alarm is gonna go nonstop for 15 minutes.
Wow.
So if somebody's attacking them, it's not like they can put their hand over their mouth and shut them up. The alarm is not going to stop for 15 minutes. They're not gonna know, I've gotta find this pin. You throw that, it's the safest way to keep those bad guys away from you.
Great tip. All right, guys, by the way, if you want the black, the set of 2 black, that's the most limited. We have less than 300 now remaining. We've got the blue, pink, purple. There's your silver, and there's your gold. And again, it is a 2-pack. And it makes, look at this, I mean, it makes 2 really nice little gifts too if you're gonna do a stocking stuffer, or even if it's a gift exchange at work. We're talking about, what, about $15 per. And we've got 6 flex pays today and free shipping on these, which we typically do not have. Joe's not going anywhere. We have our best Garmin we've ever sold this year at the lowest price coming up next. But first, let me tell you a little bit about our HSN charge card. Why is this a big deal? Because that darn $40 off is coming to a close. Here's what's gonna happen. On December 16th, that's gonna be the last day. It'll probably go back to about $10, which is usually what we do. But for right now, if you apply for our card and you're approved for it, you can instantly save $40 on that first thing that you buy with the card from HSN. $40. To me, it's like going up to the grocery store checkout and the cashier goes, honey, here's $40, go back in the store and buy $40 more of stuff.
That's fantastic.
Like, how popular would that grocery store be if they did that, right? It's the exact same thing with that. All right, stay with us. Coming up next, Joe's not going anywhere. We have our most popular Garmin GPS system at the lowest price for the holiday season.